Hello everyone, good morning. Sorry. How are you doing today? Hope you are fine. Alright. So we have some ideas today and I'm really looking forward to this episode because we have a lot to do. And before we start today, I want to thank you once more for everything because the video yesterday was really good taken. You really liked it, it seems, because you watched it along. Fantastic. And yeah, as you may be heard on Twitter, I am currently working on a design course, more or less, where I learn a little bit more about Figma. And my plan today is to work a little bit more in Figma and bring our Flutter website that we have into our Figma tool. Why did I choose Figma now for the future? Well, it has some benefits. Hey, good morning, Stefan. It has some extremely nice benefits that I would like to share with you. And one of them is you can share it across different devices, which I like. So you don't have an installed version of Adobe XD on every device. You can just have it in the browser. In that case, I downloaded actually the Figma to the device, but the good thing is synchronizing to the cloud of Figma itself, and with that it is usable again. Additionally, no worries about the videos. I finally got my new adapter from Satoshi. I'm very happy about that with a dual port. I really hope that this one makes a better job than the last one that I had from a no-name company. And yeah, so let's see how it turns out. I hope this is okay for you that we tried it. So what I did already is I created an untitled page here. Maybe you can do that also together. And what I did is I took our Adobe XD design and just copied it over. The problem with that, of course, Adobe XD is not very happy that you just move to another tool, more or less. So what happened is it is an image. So everything of it is currently just one image, a very big image. And I want to work today out of another reason on that, how do you call it, the design, just because of the reason that we are currently pretty outdated, right? If we check out once more the, oh, sorry, wrong window. So if we check out our flutterexplain.codemagic.app, we have currently created a footer that looks very nice and I would like to bring that in. And also the tab bar looks a little bit different where we can look at. Also, what I would like to do today is removing this animation that comes from top to down and maybe replace it with something that keeps in one line. And the easy reason for that is because it takes so much space up here and so much space down here, then the website looks a little bit off. And I think we can improve that. All right. So this is my plan for today. What do you think? Is that something that we can start off? Of course, I have my coffee. Matab is working now, which is also very weird. So we will have not a recipe app stream this afternoon, unfortunate. That will be on Saturday or Sunday, I assume. Great, fantastic. Then let's get started, I think. So, cool. So for that, what I will do is we have this page here and now we need all the different parts. So what I could imagine is that I can copy the single parts. I will move that a little bit around so that we have it easier to switch between the two. So what I hope is that at least the images I can just pass inside here. So let's think about shortcuts. I'm always working with shortcuts, also in Figma. The problem is I don't know them. So I think A is for making these frames here, like in Adobe XD. So we have a couple of possible choosages that we have on the right side. As you can see, desktop, you can see social medias, Figma community, and whatsoever. I will use desktop for now, and I will just keep with the default one. So you see already this resolution is a little bit different to the browser underneath of it. That is because this resolution is for HD quality pages for Windows mostly, and this is a Mac default desktop. So I don't know if there is any difference or any other possibilities that we can select. Hey Minu, nice to see you. Hope you are well. So yeah, I will just stick with this desktop now and try to bring everything inside that. And this also will define our breakpoints maybe in the future. So this will be our, how did we call homepage? Yeah, I think that name is good. So let's call that homepage and bring over some stuff like our image here. And I would like to make this image now a little bit smaller, stuff like that. And yeah, maybe I can also tell you something why I did in the first place, why I started in the first place with a design tutorial. The reason in the first place is to get more resources, because what I found is they have insane good ideas where you can find different stuff. For example, fonts from Apple. They have the website here inside that you can use. Also, like stuff like inspirations. I didn't know about Mobbin, for example. So Mobbin is a website that shows you the different patterns from applications that are existent already. And so you can see how they aligned their login, their stuff and so on. We will work today a little bit more on design again, because our design is very outdated regarding to our website itself on flutterexplain.codemagic.app. And I just want to tell you why I make currently a design course. And I really like this website of Mobbin Design. That's really helpful for me, so I highly recommend that. And another thing for inspiration was this website, Best Modern Websites. Also here you can see a lot of these fantastic websites that you can try to recreate or get an idea how you can build up your your website. That is currently in fashion, I would say. So like this, for example, where the left side has this image. Interesting enough, most of the websites don't have an animation, at least not what I found so far, but I think that, well, we can be special. But I really like that, and it's very good to have these parts in hand, like also mock-up angle free. I don't know exactly what this is about, but I will learn that hopefully. And here we have also illustrations and shapes that I usually use from Draw.io. But now they have also a lot of fantastic illustrations that we can use in general. So also that I can really I will not work on issues yet. Why? Is there one that you have specifically in mind, Minu? I think you created one on GitHub, right? So we can have there a look quickly if it is major and important, or if we can do the... Where do you get icons? Where do I get icons? Well, that highly depends. Usually I'm using Feather icon package. There is also a pubdev package called Feathers. This one, and or this one, I think, Flutter Feather icons. I like that because the Feather package is really nice. Wait, Feather icons. It is a little bit gamification-like, so it looks a little bit more like the old Comic Sans days, I think, but it's still very, very stylish, I think. So you can really use them. Can also recommend you that. And if you are searching in special for Flutter icons, there's also another package, Flutter icons, I think. And the great thing about this is this guy. The great thing about this is it contains a lot of different icon packages that you can take a look into. And that is pretty handy in general. The problem is, of course, that you don't see them in your smart view of your IntelliJ or VS Code. But yes, I do some of my icons myself. I want to make a video there how you can create your own icon package. I think I got some cool videos there from a friend like long time ago, I think 4 months ago, and I forgot to create a video for that. Yesterday I remembered and I thought, I should do that. Animate icons are pretty difficult, to be honest. I thought first that would be easy, but in general the animated icons that you know from Flutter itself, like this guy, like this package with the animated icons, they are just for predefined icons that Flutter define at the moment. So it's mostly for Material, and I think the Cupertino ones are also working. If you want to create an animation with icons in Flutter yourself, you have to write that yourself also. So the animation needs to be done there. Or what you also could do is create that in Rive, that you create, that you use the icon and animate it in Rive, and then just use Rive or, yeah, how was the other name? Lottie files. So then you can use them as icons, more or less. I think if we search here for icons, then we will find something. Yeah, so also here you can have different icons that you can really use for that. It highly depends. I like Lottie if it needs to be fast and if I want to use something from the community. And if I want to create something myself, then I usually use Rive in the moment. Only to find out emoji may not display in older versions. Quite difficult, Nilesh. I have no idea, to be honest. I would recommend to create an issue for that, maybe, or maybe open up a Stack Overflow question, so maybe they can help you there. So, Minu, you created a video. Maybe we can also work on that. So yeah, with the animation that it's not visible. Oh, interesting. But it looks anyway a bit odd. You see down here, the footer is also not on the ground. Interesting. Let me check. So if we check Flutter explain.codemagic.app. Wait, we need that. This was a mistake. I think we want to use Chrome for that because it's more performant. And we have that open even. Fantastic. So, and you say if we are like, I don't even come into that state menu. An iPad Pro. Okay, let's try that. So go for that. What do you mean in the device iPad Pro? So let's check iPad Pro. Okay, here it looks very odd, that's true. Where does this comes from? Most likely because it has 1000 and the breakpoint is later. But why is it not resizing? I think the font should resize, right? Interesting. Okay, as I said, I will take a look into that, but first I would like to start with the design today. This is okay. Good. So let's bring the stuff over. I think we have our homepage here, and what we would like to have is now, or what I saw the last time, shader mask. No, I have not used it so far. So we have, then the tablet size needs to be changed. Exactly. Who uses iPads anyway, right? So what I learned for a trick is, for example, that they don't write something necessarily. So if we take a look into one of my projects that I did together with the training, let's save that one and switch quickly off to, I don't know the navigation yet from Figma, so it could take a while to bring me into the different parts. So let's close that. I can use that one as a home menu. Okay. So this one I did in the training. And what you can see is they mock it completely. So that means texts are not really text, they are just rectangles in the first place to make it look like it would be later text. So what we can do is actually do the same. So we would not really create the whole text here. We would just create rectangles in the first place. But on the other side, we know already what will be there. So maybe we can also stick with the text. To be honest, I don't know that yet. So I bring that into the homepage here because this image belongs to that homepage, right? So that's fine. What do you think? Should we add text directly or should we create rectangles for that? Maybe I can also take that from Adobe XD. Let's check that out. If I take this text here, copy that and bring it over. At least the text is written. That's something. So I can bring that in. Move that a little bit around. And I think we have to change all the parts here. So nothing of that will be correct. I think we have here Passion 1. The font size is 64. Or better, let's check Materialio. Because what I would like to do is today, I would also align a little bit on the real design frameworks that exist. So for example, Materialio delivers us all the different guidelines, and what they also have is, for example, the font sizes. So if we search here for font, I really hope that we find that the type system here. And the type system is already included in Flutter, so if you use the theme of that, you will find exactly that. I will at the moment stick with Materialio mostly, but what we can do is also creating some kind of Kubernetes feeling in the future, so that we try to bring also in the Apple styling inside. Anyway, app mockup design for Play Store, video and images, both. No, I'm not an expert in media. Sorry that I have to answer so many questions with I don't know, I have no clue. It's very tricky today. So fantastic, we have here the different headlines, their sizes, what font is used, and so on and so forth. But as you can see, we can change the font to whatever we want, right? So I think we choose for the headline Pageant 1, and for everything else we used, the body was Montserrat, if I have that right in mind. So you can see all that will be automatically updated for us, and we can now choose the different headlines that we want, the sizing and so on, and we can just take these sizes so that we don't have to decide so much for our stuff. This has some benefit because we can directly see all these settings are already done inside of the theme of Flutter, so we don't have to recreate anything of that. At least this is my hope. Okay. So if we know that now, we have the headline 1, for example, which has a size of 106 pixels, which is extremely sizey, and let's see how this turns out. Actually, it looks not too bad, I would say. And the sizing should be light. I don't think that Passion 1 has a light font, so I think that's fine. Now it is very important as a designer that all the gaps between everything are usually always the same. So that means if we have here something to the left side, we see now 36 pixels spacing, right? So what we could, whoops, that was wrong. So usually we want to have always the same spacing everywhere. Usually the team decides on a number. I usually go for 8, so multiplies of 8, 8, 16, 24, and so on. You know that already. So we would have, for example, 32 would be a possible way. So that we have always a gap to 32 on the left side and enough space to the image itself, which is in that case like 150, but actually it's more important how much space it has to the right side. There it's now 73, which will be also like 32 in our case. So that everything is aligned well, at least to one side somewhere. Okay. So next step would be to bring up the custom text for underneath of the headline. So let's check out our Adobe XD for that. Get the text over, that I don't have to write everything again. But now you see it's just taking the font size and so on from before. And what I will do is think a little bit. This is now Montserrat with 32 at the moment. So let's check the exactly this guy, and now let's search something that is pretty close to 32. I think it will be not a headline, right? So it would be more a body or something, and they are pretty small at the moment. So maybe it's a sub-headline or a subtitle. So that would be 18 pixel actually. So they are usually not that big, which is good enough or fair enough. And it has a letter spacing of 0.15. We can take there a look how that will work. So we will change that to, it's also interesting that this is also Passion 1. So it's only for body and captions that will be Montserrat at the moment. Interesting. I don't know how to work with that now, but let's stick with that if we know it. So of course we can change everything like we want to, but I would like to try to align this time to that. So oops, let's keep it with the Montserrat. What's my font text? This guy. And also bring it a little bit down. I think it's way too big, so let's change that to 16 and find our text. and bring it over. So then we had some spacing, I think. So where is that? Ah, we have that in the image, right? So don't have to go too far away. We can help you with customized mobile. I think that would be a bad timing to break, so something like that to help your business and something like that. So, but now it's super small compared to the font letter up there. So I think that is not a good solution. I think 32 is the minimum that we should take here. And also here I make the gap between the headline and the text down there to something that we can work with. So 8, 16, 24 in that case. So something like this. And also the spacing to the left should be exactly the same. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And now it's aligned perfectly. Good. So I think we can also change here the naming without changing headline, and this will be the subtitle. And so let's check the next part that we have. I think in Adobe XD we had this action, call to action button. Okay, so let's think about that. I think we can just use the rectangle, something like this. And we can change the color again. I know for people who have been helping me with the first design, this all will be a bit boring, so sorry for that we do that again. But I think it makes sense to transfer everything now to one platform that I can work on one, instead of just changing all the time the one that we have. And then I have everything in one place. And I learn a little bit more about Figma. So make that big. It's boring, good to learn Figma. Fantastic. So, and also here we can change the font sizing and to semi-bold. Semi-bold and 32. I don't know, what I learned so far is that it's really good to work with Figma. I don't know, it's a very nice flow actually. A little bit better than I thought with Adobe XD in the first place. So what I will do is, because I can't do it with the mouse that good, I will change that to 40 to 80, because that would be 240 to 80. This would be my preferred size of a button at the moment. Is it? It should be free, completely free for your projects. It's only if you want to have teammates that you can collaborate with. So if I would like to invite all of you now, then I would have this organization billing, and then I would like to ask you for everything. For free projects, it's free. All right. I didn't know that, to be honest. Where did you find that now? Personal access token, library, account, delete account. Let's see. No teams in common. Okay, maybe. I have to check that, I don't know. Flutter website, live stream. Give that name a project. So now the rectangle and the contact us could be a group, right? So I think this should be possible somewhere to group this stuff. So group that selection, and this will be our call to action button. Headline, subtitle, and image. So these three are our Jumbotron, also called. So I will also change that, Jumbotron. I think that is also the name that we have in code for that widget. And this image will be our Lottie file. Great. So the next step would be to add our header finally, to get there some navigation in place, and like it is at the moment. So let's check again the original. Oh, I closed unfortunately my browser, so that was a mistake. Codemagic.app, and here we go. So it's interesting that this stuff looks so much smaller compared to what we really want to have. It's going to be interesting. Cool. Jumbotron indicates a big gray box for calling extra attention. Well, what I refer to is the one from Bootstrap that I know. That's the only one that I know. Alright, good to know, Stefan. Thank you. I didn't know that, to be honest. I didn't invest so much time to take a look into. I have to check that. If this is really true, then Adobe XD has a really big benefit because it's completely free. But I think you are only allowed to use it for one project, if I have that in mind. Let's check. Don't want to tell any lies here. Support, features, Abo. Meh. Oh, this is very much German. Do we have a possibility to see that in English? Thank you. Oh, stick with that. Okay, I cannot that easily. So, Photographers Enterprises XD. Hey Moran dear, nice to see you. So there is also a Buy Now button. So Adobe Starter, Active Shared Documents 1, Shared Document Editor 2, Active Shared Links 1, Cloud Storage to GB, and no, it seems also that you can use it for free, I think, for business. Yeah, I don't know, it's hard. So, and search for Jumbotron. So, and because of the Jumbotron, it's not about the gray box that you can see here. It's more about the text that you see here and this stuff and so on and so forth. I think you find that in different cases. So if you look for the examples and inside of the examples, you go, for example, to the carousel is bad idea, blog. Let's chat with the product. So this part is a Jumbotron. It's just the headline of a website where you can directly access. So you have the headline, you get a subtitle, and you get a call to action usually. And you find that on a lot of websites, if you think about it. For example, these packages that I had open seconds ago, this inspiration, this guy. So I think you find that on nearly every website where this pattern behaves. So like here on, for example, you would call this "We Are All tar.io," so that part you would call a Jumbotron. It's pretty cool with the video behind. Very cool. Maybe I should have some ideas about that to bring videos inside that plays automatically. All right. Hey Amish, nice to see you. Fantastic. So let's bring up this part inside. Then we have that too. So at the moment, I think in Adobe XD, we have created that with this border. Let's see if we can just pass it. That's just getting an image. That's a bit unlucky. Okay, let's, what is the keyboard for rectangle? R. Surprise. So let's switch that here inside. So full size of the screen and a height of 100. And do we have to change something? No, I think it could be on the top. Let's switch that to y-axis 0. And that's it, actually. And we pass the filling to 0. No, to FFF. And the good thing is, what I learned is if you just enter 3 times one number, it automatically takes it for all 6 letters, which I highly recommend you because it saves a lot of time. So now I just added an effect here. As you can see, you click on effects down here and automatically it's adding a drop shadow, which I like in that case. So Mahtab is at work at the moment. She's in Munich here in Germany. She traveled quite a lot the last couple of days. Was quite funny because she was not sure and now she's 2 days there instead of 1 day, which she planned first. So yeah, she's on the way. I hope she has a great time there. I don't get so much information, unfortunate. Looking forward to having her at home again, as I know what happens there. All right, so we have no spacing at all, 10, 20. If you want to make 10er jumps from a side, so you select it with left and right key, you can move the stuff around. And if we want to jump by 10, you can just hold shift down and then you jump by 10 pixels, as you can see up here in the x-axis. So 1, 10, 20, 30, and so on. So what I would like to do is I would also give me some helper lines, because what I forgot is that we actually don't have the full screen size. Do we have something like helper lines here? Pencil, we have arrows, ellipses, frames. Do I have helper lines or rulers or something? Shift R. Oh no, this is this ruler. Okay, not what I wanted. Take away the rulers again. So zoom panels, open panel, resource, frame outlines, mask outlines. Frame outlines? No, this is not what I wanted. Arrange text, vector. Okay, so let's search for that. I don't know. So Figma helper lines or help lines. Guides they are called. Okay, fantastic. So to enable the ruler view, and okay, fantastic. We found the ruler view already. So this is this guy. And then I can add them by show hide UI. No. Which are pinned in the top side and blah. They appear as a red thin line and can be dragged on different sets. Okay, so I just dragged them. Fantastic. So why is that important? Because as you maybe remember, we have not the full width of our websites ready. We only have 1200 as our main spacing, right? So whatever is inside of our page will be always between the center. So that means if this page is actually how large? It is 1440, but our max width container, if you remember, has exactly 1200 width. That means we have to take off 240 of this screen and divide it by 2. So if we open up a calculator, because I'm very bad in math and I just want to make sure that I'm right. Where is my calculator? Here we go. So, no. My calculator fights with me. Okay, so I don't fight with the calculator, I calculate in my mind. 1440 minus 1200 means 240 divided by 2 are 120. And if we select now this homepage here, you can see that the ruler starts from 0, where the screen starts, till the 14400. And what we can do now is we can move that stuff around, and you see the number up there is getting changing, and we want, and we want to have that ruler at exactly 140. And then we will take another ruler and want to reduce it from 1440 to 1300. Can I move that with my arrows? Yeah, fantastic. All right, so actually we have only this space. Oh, 120, thank you. Sorry. It's a weird start in the day. Okay, so that means we have here 1320. 1440 minus 100. Yeah, 240 divided by 2. That doesn't work out, but 240. And thank you, Amish, for the idea. So that's that, and that is 120, right? Divided to 2. Yeah. So fantastic, just to make it sure. All right, so that means this guy has to be actually inside of this frame here. So if we take a look, it needs to be exactly here. And so it has now one spacing, and we want to have 8, 10, 20, 8, 16, 24. Good. And the same thing behaves to that stuff. So we have currently a spacing of 32, but actually we want to have the 32 besides of or as part of that ruler here. So 5, fantastic, 10, 20, 30, 1, 2. Perfect. So this is actually the space that we have, and the same for that image. It will only contain or get the space of this part here. So it needs to be inside, right? And gets a space of 32. Something like that. So thank you for your help, actually. As I said, my math skills are not that well. Yeah, as I said, Figma, well, actually it's coming from my design course that I'm doing at the moment, and there I do all the things in Figma, so I started to use it more. And I just want to learn the capabilities, I think. Hey Aravind, nice to see you. Amin, nice to see you. So it's pretty cool. And what I also will do is creating a ruler here. And these rulers are actually pretty helpful because with these helper lines, you have the possibility to get some spacing around the whole part. So for example, when we say we want to have this part a little bit like that, then we can just add the rulers like we want. Question is just how I can remove them. I think I just dropped them out, right? So like that. Fantastic. Good. Okay. So the problem that I see at the moment is that there is the spacing a bit off. And the question is, I would like to have this in the center, right? So it would be kind of this more. At least this is my final goal, right? This is what I want. So what I don't know if it works like Adobe XD, no. So that means when I'm increasing the size of the height of the part, it doesn't remember the 1024 and just adds like a scrolling container to it. We do that up here. So that means our footer, for example, would then be also part of the first page, which is fair enough. We can live with that. So let's think about it. Our footer currently looks completely different, and we don't have that in Adobe XD in general. It's not there. We have a to-do here, which doesn't help us. So what I want to do is bringing that stuff over that we have already. And how can we do that now? It's already done, Amish. We have already revenue. Oh yeah, true. Thank you, Stefan. It's amazing. Yeah, we already have monetization actually. That's the reason why we have this live stream this afternoon, this afternoon I created a live stream where we want to donate the first money that we did with YouTube to people, to package maintainers. And we have there, how do you call it? A poll on Twitter, or we had a poll on Twitter where we asked who should get the money, I think. And at the moment the winners are Felix, I think, Remy, and 2 others or so on, that Thomas Burkhardt, for example. And I really like the idea to give something back from the money, and then I will just hope that there are not too many package maintainers that are getting the lucky ones, because then I have to split the money and it's not that much. Because if you think about it, we made, I think, at the moment, let's check that out. I think I can show that a little bit. So we are currently on a richness level of 19 euros. So that's 20 euros, which is fair enough, which is a good amount of money for the first month, I think. I think that sounds like a great idea. So what I wanted to do is getting the background of the bottom. So for that we have to go to IntelliJ in that case, because we only have the stuff here at the moment with the different colors and letter spacings and so on. So the font color is this, but where is our background color? This is that guy here. So we have to copy this. I think we don't need the opacity, and bring that over to Figma. Great. So this is our dark background from the footer, which is very, very boring actually. What I will do is I will also increase still the homepage a little bit to the bottom, just to make sure that it looks a little bit more spacey on top. And I think at the moment we have also there a selection of height, how much space we have between the actual footer and the So this guy, and I think it's 32 if I have that right in mind. So if we have a very small screen like this, then we have this space gap down here. And I think that gap is at the moment at 32 if I have that right in mind. But just to make sure, let's have another look into our code. So we have our footer and we have a min height of 150 for our footer, which is good to know. And I think, where did we have this? It should be part of the footer then. We have the list view with all that stuff. Here we have 80% of the screen height, and the footer should get some padding somewhere. So yeah, it has a padding to the top of 32. So this is the space between here, I think. And then where did we get this spacing? I think that needs to live also somewhere. So let's check. I think it's inside of the Jumbotron maybe. Yeah, here we have a symmetric, which is 16 actually. That looks a bit larger. Interesting. Okay, but anything like that, I think that makes sense. So in order to do so, I will just have the home page again higher, bring that here. And now let's see how much space we have. We have 32 here, I think that's fair. And now we bring our icons into it. And there I have no idea if the feather icons exist as a package, then we can use that directly here. So I will click on that home button here, community. And now let's search in the Figma community for feather. And you see we have the feather icon package actually. That is fantastic. Unicorns, we have even more packages like that. And what I will do is I click here on the download button, which is not really downloading it. It will duplicate it in my drafts. So if I jump now to drafts, I have the possibility to go here inside. And you see we have now the different feather icons, or at least the icons that this package provides us here. And I think those are not all of them. At least if I have that right in mind. No, I think there are a lot of missing ones. Okay, so I close that one off again, go once more to the community tab, search one more to feather. How does this one look like? Okay, so she has quite more, so I try to duplicate this one and have a look. Maybe there are more. So we search for the GitHub icon, for example. So do you see a GitHub icon? Okay, how can we find that easier? I think if we select the feather icons here, then we can read all through them, and maybe we can search also here. Is that possible? No. So aperture, arrow, bar, battery, cast, check. So at least they are namely ordered, so I can search for G in that case. So if I search for GitHub, here we go. And we have our GitHub icon. So let's bring that over. Here we go. And I'll bring it down here, where the dark one is of course a bit lost. So let's search for the icon color, and I think the default icon color that we have is the font of the footer. For that we select our footer again, and we have here our color. The selection color would be this one. Yeah, fantastic. So how large are our icons actually? Do we know that still? So we have this size box, footer columns 1, 2, 3, and the social media row. And inside of the social media row, we have social media buttons. But actually we don't know how large they are, or do we? The default size, I think. So what is the default size of an icon in Flutter? Yep, search for the size. I think there should be one. Icon size is icon theme.size. Okay, and what is the default one of that? Okay, size is size, size is size. 24. So you can see the size of it is default 24. Thank you, Amish. Directly at the same time. So it is actually true that 24 is correct. So maybe our footer is just too large, and this is exactly the case. We have that on 150 at the moment. So we can make that a little bit smaller. Just that the different proportions are working fine together. So now what I want to do is, because we know that our sizing of the social media icons is exactly 250 width, I will create a rectangle again, which is 240 width and a height, I think, from 30 maybe. And of course, this will have the same background as our footer. But it's just for me to have a guideline to have a look where the images are inside. So this will be on top of that. And we know now that they will be inside of this rectangle actually. Can I? No. Okay. So in order to do so, I will change the color once more to something. Bring that up here. Have the icons inside. I think that will be a bit bigger. That will be maybe double, so 48 for now. So, and align them to the center here. And now let's see. That's the third icon of us. So, whoops. I'll keep it like that for now. And we'll switch that in as soon as we can. Then we have the DevTO icon, the YouTube icon, and the Twitter icon. So let's search for Twitter here. Can I not search? I'm really a bit sad that I can't. That's assets maybe? Feather icons? Ah, look at that, way better. So we search for Twitter. Look at that, how easy that was. I think U is the unicorn one and FI is our Twitter. So you have to select up here assets, then you will find it easier. Hey AKS, nice to see you. All right, so the next part is this guy. Gets also the same color and will be here somewhere. And I will just put them all here inside because I have a plan in my mind. Let's see if it works out like I expected. Can I not have that? So hopefully I'm back online. Sorry for that. Somehow my instance of Streamlabs crashed just in the middle of nothing. All right. Now I hear myself twice. That's not a good point, but I try to get rid of that. Yeah. Here we go. Fantastic. Everything is back in place. I hope you hear me well. Music is back on. Quite some tricks today. I'm just happy that I got used to that stuff, so else I would be now completely stressed and overwhelmed. Okay, so you missed nothing. I did do nothing as soon as I see it. Mic is too loud, music is too loud. Alright, music is getting silent and mic is getting louder. Let's try that. Is that better? I hope the best. I can maybe make that also a little bit silenter. So Streamlabs is again started. I think you would notice that as soon as my stream is not working anymore. No stress. The only problem that I have is I currently worked with a new module for Streamlabs, and as soon as my stream starts again or goes offline or something happened, immediately I send a message to Twitter. So the problem will be on Twitter at the moment that I send like every time a new message. But, well, they don't. They also like some spam. That's good. Okay, back to here. We were currently on that stuff, right? So where have we been? So Figma. We tried to use this YouTube logo. We have that. And we searched the DevTO logo. and I couldn't remember what the name was, so I head over to Adobe, and of course there I don't have it, but we have another part where we can find it inside of the code. So let's jump into the social media bar and search for the icon that we currently use for that. So we have Feather GitHub and Feather Code, which would be the next thing that I searched, of course. So here we go, Feather Code. Zack. And bring that in. So next step would be to align these things correctly. So bring all of them into one group inside here. I think I don't need that rectangle anymore because I have this group now of these four. Do I? Let me think quickly. Can I say that this group is 240? Yes, I can. So remove this rectangle here. How can I remove it? Delete. Ah, fantastic. Okay, so now important is that they are exactly aligned each other. And you see the spacing here is differently. So first these are, and then, yeah, they are different. So my question is, can we space them up? So I call here tidy up. Let's see what happens. Now you can see that the gaps between every icon is exactly, oops, just select one and navigate to another. Is that possible? So is now exactly 3395 and 3387, which is not perfectly aligned, but better. Disturb vertically, disturb something like that. So let's see what we have now. The best package for icons, there is no best package for icons. I think everyone has their very own opinion about this topic. So fantastic. So this group will be at 240 still, but shouldn't change my icons. So I have to see how I can do that. 240, and I think I have to change then all of the icons back to a width of 42. And just fairly distribute them later. So select once more all of them and distribute vertical, and fantastic. With that we have that. If we select now the group, at the moment we have two different colors, which I really don't like. So what we can do is I can change it to these colors, all of them, and done. So you see that is very handy. For example, the selection colors down here. You can really select the object that you want. So for example, if we have that Jumbotron, we find all the different colors that are used and we can change them very easily. Music. That is true, AKS. That was exactly what I thought. I just was, oh geez, he's here, let's move. So, and of course this is also a bit wrongly aligned, so what I will do is I select that in center. With that we are done. The course that I do is a very good question. I can share that with you. It's the code, wrong browser, this guy, code design, this guy, design coders, UI design for developers. Because as I said, I have no idea about visualization, and this course actually helped me, or I hope it will help me, to understand more about colors, fonting, and what I really liked about it is how they start to show you tricks like this, for example, that there are patterns inside of the UI that are always the same and that you can use in multiple ways, for example. So if I would create now a new app, I would just think about what I want to display and would like to start with one of these patterns, for example, that I don't want to reinvent the wheel all the time. Also, it had some very nice resources like Shape SO and so on, and Angle SH, just to get me an understanding how I can create engaging designs, because I think it is very important. I have currently a customer for my React project that I'm working on, and there I see whenever I create a design, they are happy with it, but I have always the feeling that they are not enthusiastic for it. So they are not like, wow, that's exactly what we want. Of course, there I am a developer and I just design as a hobby, but still it's part of my job. if you want so. So I want to learn there a bit more, make myself a bit more valuable, understand a little bit more. So for me, it's the right one, and I have no idea how it will be in the future. Hi, welcome. Yeah, welcome. So let's go to the next part. That's absolutely true, but still, how can I say that? I am a developer more, and as a developer, I like patterns more than options. So if I have a lot of stuff that I could do, then it is for me messy, and I don't want to have one of them. It's more better for me to have a pattern that I can reuse all the time. So I feel a bit more comfortable with this, if this makes sense. I know it sounds like a very bad excuse, but still, it's my excuse. All right, so here we call that footer logo, and this one would be our main logo. And what I also want to do is selecting this and that, like so, and group that as our navigation bar or header. And combine these guys to a footer. Creating your own business style, absolutely. I'm absolutely with you, but still, I would like, even for my own business, I would like to try to always have a pattern that I would reuse all the time. So even though if I have 3 apps that I want to develop, I would like to have a pattern in all 3 apps that I would that you would directly recognize. Okay, this guy has created it. In the first place, this was always these waved borders that I created, so it makes a lot of sense. True. The course for me is also more important about having inspirations, finding directly links that help me to create all this stuff. I don't want to argue that design is more than just explicit using patterns, but that's why I'm doing a course for developers, right? So that that I learn all that stuff a bit more closely. So somehow this looks very small here. I don't know why. Maybe this logo is too big, I don't know, but in general I have the feeling this is way bigger compared to this guy here. So what I will do is I will just increase that for now to 200 and also bring the home page a little bit more down, that we have more spacing here. So emboss in Flutter in neumorphic. The easiest way to identify how this would work is to go to the neumorphic package in Flutter and just take a look into it. I think they found already fantastic solutions for that problem. Clay package is the name, I think. So, okay, for the next part, we will have this column section, right? With these 1, 2, 3, 4 columns. And the idea here would be that we create, how can we do that? We have to divide our screen once more. So that means we have 1200 pixels divided to 4 will be 300. So what I will do is from here, which is 120, 300 would be 420. So let's go, 420. This would be our first column that we create. So up, zack. The second part would be 420, 820. Yeah, I think I did also a video on neumorphic design. So it was not perfect, but yeah. And I did again the mistake. It's 300, right? So it's 720. And then we have 1020. And this should be it. So that means we have a column here, a column here, a column here, and a column here. Now the question is, can I, this is 184 and this is like something. And can I, yeah, at the moment I only can center it by the whole screen. But my question would be, can I also center it by these helper lines? And for that, I hope if I'm just navigating here around that there will be a snippet somewhere, like this guy, and 107 and 125, which is not exactly true. 105. Yeah, I think that's the closest I can get. On the other hand, I can calculate that. That would be 150, right? So if I select this guy, then if I'm searching the center of that, that would be 150, right? And if I would make this width here a bit better, like 65, or let's 100, for example. Then when 150 is the center, then we have to remove 50 pixels to the left, 50 pixels to the right. That would make it to a 100 pixels from the left. So if this here is 100, it should be in the center. Yeah, fantastic. No worries, that's all fine. No worries. I'm not really in a competition with them. I think it's everyone has a great job there in all their stuff that they are doing. I'm just one of a lot of great content creators. So now this will be 120, and here this will be in the center somewhere. So Mitch Coco. I don't know even Mitch Coco. That's sad. Who's Mitch Coco? Mitch Coco. YouTube. This guy. Upside down. Cool. No, I don't know him. I will add him. So feel free to check out Mitch Coco at this point of time. So fantastic. Now we have our next text and we want to have platform. We want to have, what do we have? Platform, we will have help center, we will have security, help center, we will have security, and select all of them. Chop. Also a neat trick that I learned in the last session is if you hold Command down, you can select everything regardless of their group or something. So if I select now, I select the group of the whole thing. But if I only want to select, for example, the Contact Us button, I hold down Command and I can select exactly that rectangle here, which is quite neat. Highly recommended. So this will be distributed like so. We will have, I think we have even a size for that, a height for that. I think that was 100 if I have that right in mind. Let's check that out. Code here, footer, column, footer text has a height of 100. Fantastic. But the font size is, I think, way smaller, right? So here we have the styling. Text style comes in, no. So we have a default styling. That would be K footer text. Okay, so we just keep the default font size, which would be 16, I assume. So I have to change that here to 16. I think at the moment we use the default Roboto font, which we can change, of course, later for them. So have that, and I think the letter spacing can be also written here. Is it this guy? Yeah, letter spacing would be 125, which is 125%? No. Yeah, I started with that design course because they work also in Figma, and then I was like, okay, maybe I have to try it. So let's see, I would like to have that very good aligned here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8. So something like that. Collect all of them and say that this should be a group again for the first column. And they will be, of course, not somewhere, they will be in the footer. This is our footer, so down here. All organized to the left, and I think the color is also the font color of the icons. So let's check that, get this color, selection colors, done, boom. And this didn't even take seconds, fantastic, love that. But I think the font is a different one, right? This looks different than this guy here. This looks way more rounded, don't know why. Interesting, have to take a look. In that, how can I create a press state using native Flutter? And okay, let me check. Oof. Okay, I get a lot of warnings regarding that link from Twitter, so I will take a look later if this is okay. So you apologize? Why? No, I didn't know him. That's fantastic. I like to learn also more. So I'm also following a lot of YouTubers that are completely different to myself. So it makes a lot of sense to know these people because they create good content, and so I can maybe learn something, in my opinion. So I like that a lot. So thank you for sharing this. So let's organize that a little bit. Write again the text. So this would be customers, use cases, and customer service. This afternoon I will also have maybe, or better, most likely, a little giveaway, because I got a course from Angela Yu, and I have done that already. So I would like to make a giveaway for that. Customer service. So at least this is my plan. Let's see how it turns out. So something like that. And I think they are a little bit off aligned. They're a bit too small, but we will take a look. So now I can also hold down options and drag that over. And with that, you can see immediately that I have that same parts. So there we have company, about us, and nothing. Company, oops. About us. Nilesh, good question. So tester pump, as far as I know, will just pump the widget and ignores all asynchronous tasks, while pump and settle will wait till the widget is really stable. So that means if there is any background task or anything running from Flutter itself, it will wait for that to be done before it starts to go to the next task. While I think pump is just executing the stuff that it needs to and then ignores it. So like fire and forget. So, and what was the other question? How to test for various screen sizes. The easiest way to understand that is most likely to go to the Flutter package itself and take a look there, because they made some fantastic tests regarding that. And if you want to make component tests for various screen sizes, you will have to pass down more or less a max constraint of your width. And with that, you can then organize that a little bit better. So at the moment we have a lot of first columns, so let's change that. This is the first, this is, or we called them differently, right? This is left column, this is the right column, and I assume this one was the center column. Bring that together, fantastic. And this group is a little bit different, can be on top. This is our social media bar. And down here we have the logo, which is actually, yeah, we can keep that. And a rectangle somewhere. Ah, this is the background. Cool. So, because we know that now, I want to select these three and the logo and bring them on the same height. And then I would like to distribute them or tidy them. Not like that. I would like to distribute them horizontally. Hope this works. And what I want to do next is check the spacing to here, because that is too small. Let's have that at 16. So, great. I think that looks already pretty promising. Yeah, and I think on Friday I will have also a collaboration with the Happy Harris in general, because he wants to talk about our first app experience that we created with Flutter. And I don't know if I have already published this stream, but it should be. No, it's not. So let's make that public. I think that's a very good idea. Thank you. Because with that, we try to make the first time a Streamlabs meeting, more or less. So everyone, both of us, will have work with Streamlabs and send it to the corresponding YouTube channel. So it could be going everything wrong. So be with us when we try to first time to do something there. So now my chat is gone. Fantastic. I like YouTube. Sometimes it's really buggy. Here we go. Great. So this is our first screen, and what I want to do is removing the helpers, because I think they are a bit in, or can we hide the layers, the helpers sometimes? Show hide Shift Command H. Shift Command H doesn't work. Great. So how can I? It's great that Streamlabs always shows parameter unavailable. It's so useful. Create component, use mask, union selection. Okay, fantastic. All of that stuff I don't need at the moment. What's now wrong? Wait. Here we go. Cool. Great. Still, I think I would like to remove these helper lines. Or can we hide the frame outlines? No. View, hide ruler. Ah, yeah, if we remove the ruler, then it's gone. Fantastic. So how does that work? If the rulers can be done with Shift R, so we are a bit quicker with that. Fantastic. Yeah, exactly. And it shouldn't be too hard, right? So what I don't like is that these parts are not centered, right? So bring that a little bit up now. And I think with that, it looks already a bit more fresh. What did we miss anyway? Is there anything? Oh yeah, our headline has naming of that. So here would be Flutter explained at the moment. Just to bring that in order. I think 32 is the right choice, or 46. Don't make it too big. I think 32 is fine. And just align that to the icon here. So navigation bar has the main logo with the text here inside. They should be tidied up. That was wrong. And I think we used a different approach here. We have a specific height of that. So let's check that out. Good point. We will take a look into that in a second. Stefan, thank you. So let's see. We have here Passion 1 again. which is way too big, I think. I think that's fine. So, and you said this logo and this logo should align. We can do so, but the problem with that, if these two logos align, then we have that distortion with that part here. Can we do it differently? So we put that in one line, and then this logo down here would come into the line of the logo on top, something like that. So, because if they align, everything has to align. I think that is very important. So that means from all these parts, I think that should work already. It looks cleaner, yeah. Because in the first, or now it is just this part, right? But in the future, this will be like that size of a page. So if I select the footer, it will be completely on the bottom, and then you won't really recognize it anymore. But I think the headline will currently be sticky. I don't know if this is something that we want to keep for the future, but at the moment it's sticky on top. Could be also that we want to transform it later, that it's going from this part into an invisible background or something. I don't have thought about it, to be honest, yet. Maybe AKS has some good ideas about that, because he's always very happy to help there. So what I will do is, because I know that the footer is on the bottom there, I will add a new layer just to make sure that we keep in my head that this will be only, how large? So let's check, 1024. 1024. So something like that. Because what I could imagine, this is our first page, right? So if we have that, this would be somewhere, I don't know, so something like here. So this would be my idea. And then as a second part down here, we have maybe something like, now we come to the new part actually. So we have some stuff. In the first part with a menu, that part would... Okay, so I find the page is very short. It's nice, but something is missing. Maybe if we add a video in the first part with a menu, that part, I leave in the second part. Invasion idea, clone similar invasion page. Okay, invasion page. I think I heard that already, so let's check once more the invasion page. Invasion. IMDb, Invasion, very good film. I heard about it. Fantastic. Okay, I don't have the page anymore. But what I can do is I can check out the design stuff that I found with the inspiration of the websites. Envision app. Ah, this guy. Okay. List view, which scroll direction, axis horizontal. How can I list, how I can this running meaning after free? Okay. Not this app. Okay. Let's try this one. Ah, yeah. Okay, yeah, they do it with a very fancy video in the background. I think that's gonna be difficult because my idea, no ad idea. Yeah, this is no ad. Okay, yeah. So with the video on the background, I think that's gonna be tricky because I think Flutter is not yet supporting HTML5 video. At least this is what I assume. And use HTML background of a Flutter app. Yep. So I'm not the only one who's asking this. Yeah. But still, I had to create a video, right? Which I have no clue which you would be interested on such a page. So I have no idea. I just know that if we take a look once more into the website itself, so if we go to this guy, it's very empty. That's a good point, Stefan. That sounds like a very good idea. To be honest, I currently work together with a designer who creates a comic figure of me and Mahtab. And I would like to integrate that somewhere because I really like the idea. So it's like these comic avatars from myself or something, or from photo. And then you get these nice little cartoonified stuff. Not like that, but you know what I mean. Welcome back, Shorty. Nice to see you. So you didn't lose too much. You know, we are still working on the website. We have some stuff here to do. It's still empty. Need some ideas. What I could do is, at the moment, we have still these profile images from us. Like these guys. Not very beautiful, but hey, it works. And maybe that we bring them somehow on the page. We have this blue background and so on. Yeah. If you maybe remember our website that we have currently running, because I think the faces in the first page is always a bit tricky because you want to see the people, but later. So if we take a look here and we scroll a bit down, what we have done is our team, and then we have our faces here with our professional images. I think that would be the option that we would like to do then in the future. So in the first place, you just tell them what you are doing, then you are telling about your passion or what you are doing, and after that you tell your face. The page has to have 4 parts that are long and interactive. Okay, so your idea is, or better, not your idea, that is the same that I had, I think, that we have this part as the first page, more or less. I will just create it once here in a very large scale. So we move that level of this home page far down. I think it would be the 4 times of it, no, 5 times of it actually. So it would be 1224 we said, right? Yeah, so 1224 times 4, 5,120. So go back to the selection homepage. 5,120. Here we go. And the footer would live then on the bottom, something like that. So I could imagine something like that in the future. So I'll remove the footer. So now we have the different sections. If we have this ruler at 1,024, then we have it also on 2048, right? Something like this. And maybe, can I also clone that one? No, unfortunately not. So I have to create this, add free. What was the ruler here? 84, 24 on top is 60. It's so sad. Times 3, 27. Well, I can't calculate and make live streams. I learned that today. So go and like that. See you, Amish. Was great to work you. This afternoon we will have a live stream where I will make the donations, I think, live with you guys together. There will be also the giveaway for one of the Udemy courses that I have. And yeah, I think the next live will be then on maybe Saturday. I don't know. Let's see that. I don't know yet, to be honest. Sorry. Somewhere here. So I'm trying times 4 is 69. Okay. 90. I forgot about it. What was it? 4 is 4,000. So great. You're working this afternoon. Oh, I'm sorry for that. Should I maybe move it to a better point in time? Can do that still. Still, I have the power to do that. Okay, then make the footer bigger. I don't know actually if we have more content, right? I think if we're going to Apple, for example, okay, they have a large footer. Geez, have they a lot of stuff. The problem is I don't have so much stuff at the end. I'm pretty boring. I just have myself. I mean, I have to fill that footer with something, right? I mean, if we are talking about InVisio app, InVision app, what do they do with their footer? So they have also that huge footer. Ah, but also with this follow up. Oh, I like that one. Be inspired, stuff. A Bigfoot footer. Okay, that's the trend now, add long footers. Okay, can't argue with trends, right? So how can I increase the footer without increasing everything? That would be the most important stuff. I think I can just take that rectangle now. Where do we want to go? Like maybe... That's so big. Let me take a look how big this guy is. This is 80% of the screen. It's crazy. Look at that. They have that even doubled. Ah, that's impressive. I didn't know that a footer can be that big. It's like 2000 pixels in small mobile screens. What the hell? Is this really what you want? What you really want? Okay, so what I will do now is I will change that to mobile screen. Here we can select... can I not select responsive just? 1200 just to get the size of the space down here. And that footer has a crazy size of... Where is it visible? Flex and so on. Okay, beautiful. Calculated. Changes, layout. Down here. Of 1000 from 836. Okay, that's quite large. Yeah, I can imagine. So 800. Beautiful. Now my header doesn't make any sense anymore. Big header and big footer removes the website. That's the plan. So the question is now, how can we align the stuff in that space? I mean, we have so much space now. That's crazy. Do we even need a logo? I think here we have a very small logo. It looks so crazy. TransferWise is also a website that I know. TransferWise, I use that to transfer money from New Zealand to Germany and back and forth. When I was in New Zealand, it was pretty helpful. They have so a huge... What? This is like one page of just footer. Okay, and they also put their copyright. I think that's a good idea. The only problem that I have is that I don't have so much infos to give, but still they use that 4 columns approach too. They have their handles down here, and then they make this a little bit different here on that part. So the question is, what do we actually call a footer? Is that a footer in your opinion, or is that more like metadata? It's all footer. It's just footer. Crazy. But this is pretty small, right? The footer itself is just 800 and just has a lot of space surrounding it. Do they divide that then in two footers, like footer 1 and footer 2 or something? Have a container before, and then they just have the rows. No, it's just one footer. Cool. The information is the least we occupy. Privacy block, etc. Contact, GDPR, etc. Yeah, true. Okay, but what we have is these parts here, right? So what I would like to do is put them then in the center somewhere. I actually don't know where we should start actually. So we would have something like this. Maybe we copy one of them. Then we have another one. Something like that. Would have them somewhere here. And they have also like headlines for all these different stuffs, right? On the other hand, if we think about it, for example, I use the IntelliJ website as a reference at the moment. Of course, they are not top-notch what web design is, but they have a very small footer. Peekaboo. Hey, Nickel. So, fantastic. So we have this stuff here. We have the company and team. Sorry that this is in German. Let's change that to English if the website works with us. The N. No, it's still... it's better. Okay, so we have company and team. Then we have help and support. So this stuff is more for us, like news, blog, press, and so on. Okay. Yeah, true. As I am. So I can relate to them, actually. I can really good relate to them. So that would mean that we have here up there something like our team. Is that no company and team? So company and team. Something like that. And this company and team would be then in white. I want to have that in white. Let's see what the team says. But if we make this white and a little bit stronger, I don't know how I can do that, and maybe a medium size. With that, we have this little bit more outlined that this is a headline actually. Well, company and team, we would have the same behavior down here. And I think I have to add them to the left column here, not this guy, this guy. And the same for the center widget, where we add the company and team and put that here inside. And the last would be here, up in the right footer, right column. Why do I have it twice, the right column? Okay, I have to. So now it's a little bit difficult to say right column, left column, center column, because we have two Y's. The center column would have left center and right center. So this is left center column, this would be the right column, and this is the right center column. Turn that around, so. And another company and team would be on that side. The logo up, not down. Okay, so like here, or on that side, or here, or if I take a look here, there is it more down, and in Vision they have it hidden. No, I at least not yet planned. But why do you think it's so good? So we can check that. Is there create your own plugin? No, don't want that. Install, team, settings, community, search for Flutter. See one result in Teams. No, I think. Where do I get plugins actually from? So we have that part. So we would have like, I don't know, follow us would be the link list here, which would be not icons. They would be then actually text, right? So we would have icons plus text. What do we have here? Oh yeah, Alvin, that would be fantastic. Thank you. So let me think. If we have that part and we have these little columns here, how would you call this? I want to structure that somehow. This would be like our information bar or information group. So this would be our company information. And then we would create another one, which would be, all right, see ya, Stefan. Thank you for joining today. It was fantastic. So then we would have our logos still in the center, I think. We would put them here, I think. I don't want to lose them yet. And the logo would be, I don't know yet, maybe there. In South Korea, nice, welcome here. I wanted to visit South Korea, and I want to still, because League of Legends Worlds are this year again in South Korea, I think. So I really hope that I get some tickets next year or this year. I don't know if the League of Legends Worlds, are they still in South Korea? Are they even held this year because of Corona? I don't know. So I still try to get here a little bit spacing, or better, I can take all of them and tidy them up and maybe distribute them horizontally. Can I, hopefully without destroying anything, I will select them now like this and try to disturb them. Didn't work out like I expected. What can I do here? I can move them around, okay. Ah, nice. So I can just change that and then I can move them around like so, and I have to reduce it even further by 60 maybe. Okay, so every column has to get a width of 240, I think, not further and not more, not less. I think that's enough to contain all the space, and it will be also enough to organize everything beautifully. Whoops. And inside of these columns, we want to have all these texts on the left side. Same for this guy. Ah, design work, I love it. And what I will do is actually I will select this guy and will bring it completely to the corner of this help line here. And I think I will do that with all of them. Then I just make that as a starter of the help lines and done. And then they have all the same diversion, spacing, like that, and the right one will be also here. The cool thing is now I'm designing everything. The worst thing is I have to create all that stuff later in Flutter, and because I know myself, I want to be pixel perfect with this stuff, so it will will be a very interesting work. So where we are, bring me the dish. Okay, Japan, South Korea are two countries I love, and Singapore too. I have been already in Singapore. It was fantastic. The airport at Singapore is so crazy, and the city and everything, but the fines are also horrible. I'm always afraid there to get a fine because it's directly like 1,000 euros or something. Yeah, YouTube don't like links, that's true. Hey Ankit, nice to see you. Figma to code is the name. Okay, so how can I get an plugin? So we search for plugins. Figma to code. Let's take this guy. Install the plugin. Plugin installed. Great. Go back to our thing. And you think if I take that, yeah, just don't chew gum. And I think they don't like that fruit. What is the name? It's like that stinky food that nobody wants to eat, or some people want to eat. And what is the name of that? I don't know anymore. In the middle of the bottom of the page adds the intellectual property of Flutter Explained Foundation 2020. That sounds amazing. So the problem is we are not a foundation or anything. We are actually Tadayon and Weber GBR. Unfortunately, this is our, how do you call it, our company name that we have here in Germany. So I have to add this one, I think, else we would get some legal problems. So bring that in. And I think I need that C, no, not this guy. So, yep, I'm on TransferWise. So legal cookie, this guy, or you mean? And I need that C in front. This guy. So, and then transfer, blah, 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 firm reference. I don't have that. But I think you mean this part, right? Like legal, privacy policy, legal notice, and so on. Export thighs and all the... I don't know what a thighs is. Thighs is? What is that? Thighs? Is that a name? No. Team. So the line here, or themes? All the last to the center. Okay, so everything below here? This guy? No. Okay, what I will do is I will bring this line into the play. I think that would be something. And I think this guy can be in the center again. And we need a line which have the perfect keyboard shortcut of L. So, and I think if I press a lot of command buttons on the left side, we can arrange that. Why is it so long? Okay, let's write here something. I think we can here give the width, which would be 200, 1200. And we can center that in the page. Give that a color of... let's make that blue. So, great. Nearly close as the color that I wanted to, which is this guy. So, and now we separate the content. If I take away the rulers, we can see that this should be quite good. The only problem that I have now, these guys align too much. On the other hand, this is exactly what happens here. So I maybe have just to make it bigger. What size have the letters? I think they have currently 16. In Adobe XD, I can collect like the different assets like colors, text styling, and so on and so forth. How can I do that here in Figma? Is that possible? Is there something like that? So that I can collect the colors and fonts and so on? There is this guy, libraries. The font size needs to be enlarged for all the stuff. Okay, we will do that in a second, because I think here the font size is pretty small, right? It's 14 pixels even, it's even smaller. This is even 12, it's smaller in the smallest scaling. Like this maybe. But I have to admit it looks way cleaner than before, even though that it was before already pretty cool. This is good. How is the alignment on the right side? I think it's larger, right? So this don't be finished with that, so that's good. But I think for me it's a bit too far away from that. So if this is 140 width, 240 width, I would maybe align with that, something like that. But then it looks somehow like we couldn't do it. It looks better, yeah, way better. I think I like it. I don't know if it's already fantastic. Like I think we need also some other informations like. But I think, no, I think it's pretty cool. What is the rest thinking? Are we happy with that? Maybe center it a little bit, like so. Maybe we can decrease the size a little bit, just because. Why not? So this line is part of the footer. So bring that footer together. That is that, and this part is also down here in the footer. Yeah, I lost it. Not below the rectangle, of course. Fantastic. Okay. What I will do is I will just copy a little bit that makes sense to us. So company and team would be maybe company and team as the first that we can select. That would be our team. That maybe shows me and Mahtab or something like that. Then we have help center that could be changed to news and blog, and YouTube channel, right? Then we have help and support. Do we have help and support? Well, maybe here we can have something like sponsorship, where we have our buy me a coffee, and maybe, I don't know. On the other hand, no, I don't want to promote that, to be honest, on the website. Because in the future we want to go a little bit into consultancy and company consultancy terms, and it would be more in this direction. So I don't know if sponsorship is really a good idea, because that would be more like I'm asking for money, which I usually do on YouTube to keep the content here alive. So that would be something like our partners maybe, or help. Yeah, why not? Help and support. Then we would have, in that case, shoot, I somehow give me my text back. So where is there? So this would be like, I don't know, what is it? Help center? Or FHQ, right? Frequently asked questions. No, let's call it FHQ. Help and support. Great. FHQ. What do we have else? Help center. I don't think that I will create a help center, at least not at the beginning. Maybe let's just add that for now, and we can remove that later. And the good thing is I don't necessarily need all three of them. Good. Maybe here on that side we can also create a GitHub repository, because I think some customers could value that if there is a knowledge or how much stuff we have already done, right? So I will just align that here. I see you have already very specific ideas about the website. That's fantastic. I still try to get my own touch in it, so I will always try to fight your ideas. So learn more is also a good part, I think. That would be about our services, right? So maybe our services, or office and services, something like that. There would be our portfolio. Maybe a contact us form or something like that. What frame are we using? We are using this guy. So we started with the frame of desktop, and then we increased it. And if I'm opening the ruler, we divided it by 3 types or 3 page parts. And at the moment we are working on some kind of a single page application, I think, or better, a single page website that will be in the future, or hopefully. And at the moment we are just trying to create a fantastic design, because at least I decided that the current one that we have, where is it? This guy is nice, but has the problem that it's a bit too empty. So we will have to find a way, and there we already have the possibility of scrolling, which helps a lot. But we can still increase and improve the whole view, I think. And that's just what I want to achieve today. That we have a clear goal where we want to go. So actually the single page applications usually divides in multiple sections, and every section has a specific purpose, right? So for example, this guy is at the moment our landing page, I would say. So here should be everything. What will this page be about? Then you usually have some kind of our team. What I will do is I will maybe add here a very large text, like 162 for now, where I just enter our team. Of course, this is still debatable. What should there be? I think the team comes even a bit down. And then we have, for example, up here, our offerings. Oh, you're welcome. I like that. Oh, that brings me to another question. I thought about to compromise or to take all the live streams that I currently made. I think for the website, for example, it's like 16 live streams, or no, 8 live streams that we have, and create a little video out of it to just make a recap how we began to work on that, where we go through what was our different stages, what did we learn in the meantime, and just create like a 10-15 minutes video to explain what we are doing in the live streams and so on and so forth. Would you be interested in something like that? Great idea. Yeah, okay, that's helps me already a lot, because I thought about it, but then I left it because it was like, maybe not a good idea. So our offerings, our team, then here could be something else. We can take a look into the TransferWise, for example. So you can see here, we have up here directly what it is all about. Maybe not the best page for that because it's money. But here we have that video. It just explains us very quickly with some call to actions what the website will be about. Then we have our partners, something like, okay, who do we work together with? What is what we know? Here we will have as good old, maybe a runner or something. Yeah, but maybe I can also make a link like explaining what we have done in which live stream, and then say, okay, here's the link to exactly this part or something. So at the moment this will be pretty empty, but in the future this could be some customers that I'm currently working with, if I get the allowance of them to add them to my website. Then what is this? Cloud your entire product design workflow. So this is now about the product. In our case, this would be our trainings that I want to offer in Flutter and Dart, or also in web development. I don't know yet. And then we are coming slowly to the product still. Then what is in it for you, more or less. So maybe in a cool design here. Prototype and animate, sketching. Design system manager for consistency. Okay, so you can see always these still design what it brings. Bring design into every conversation. Okay. Oh, it gets started for... I couldn't skip this. So you think an email... You would be happy about an email newsletter. I actually thought about that idea because it's also very good, and I have to think about myself too, right? So it's also good to monetize that stuff. So I thought about to create such an email newsletter or email list or something where I can send like updates to Flutter, to our videos, to everything that I know. But I was a bit hesitated because I just go from myself, and I don't read email newsletters. I register for them like frequently, but I never read one. So I'm always a bit bad for that. I think the only newsletter that I actively following is the Flutter there are two, Flutter Weekly and Flutter something else, and these are the only two that I really follow. And this is just because I'm interested in the topic, very interested in the topic actually, and I'm not sure if I could provide the same quality at the moment, so I would be always struggling there a little bit. So I don't know, feels a bit weird. So yeah, our product and then our team maybe. So like our product. Yeah. But I think what I wanted to do with the text is just to explain you that we have these different parts at the end. And if they are longer than just these 1,400, then it's fine. It's just what we have at the moment. And because we don't, or we will most likely don't have so much stuff to show actually, because I think we don't have a very large portfolio that we have at the moment, or any customers that have worked with us already. So most of that will be anyway pretty empty and will be increasing in the future. And another problem is that I don't know how active this website will be really. It will be much more like a proof of concept that you can work with Flutter Web, but I don't think it will be the main website. And the reason for that is the Flutter SEO problem. I don't know if you have ever seen a Flutter website before, but if we take a look into this guy here, for example, then you will see that we have these Flutter glass panes and so on and so forth. And this sounds, in the first view, it looks very nice, and because nobody can copy easily this Flutter application, but it has also one very large downside. All the crawlers for web and so on don't identify this website as a good website, no matter what. And additionally, I think the performance could be a problem. So I don't know how, for example, page speed from Google, this page speed inside, this page here will, well, this side is anyway bad, so let's cancel that. But if we want to optimize that one for speed testing, I think, what do we get here? I have never tested that, to be honest. It could be that Code Magic server is also not very well configured, but what I want to just see if the page speed tests actually get something out of it. So yeah, it gets something out of it. Fantastic. For mobile, even 9. That is not too bad, I would say. But it took a really long time to show the first stuff. But that's crazy. Okay. So you see, it's not really optimized yet for web in general. Yeah, so I don't know how realistically it is. On the other side, as soon as Flutter is getting better and better and we get newer versions and maybe CEO will be a part of it, maybe then it could be a real opportunity to bring that into our apps. And I think the last point is pretty clear. It's our footer at the moment. So we were working on that footer at the moment. And nothing, I just made a recap. You can just scroll back, hear everything what this stream is about. I talked a little bit about the different sections that we want to create at the end, more or less, and what we are doing at the moment. So this is where we are, and I can increase the sound of the music maybe a little bit. Don't know if you hear anything, actually. Very boring without music, I think. So exactly. So our footer is okay-ish, I would say. Now I'm not sure anymore with our social bar here. I liked it in the first place because it was a bit unique, but now I'm not sure anymore with all these changes. But it still looks clean. I think that's fine for now. So if we remove the ruler once more, we can see this would be our page, which is quite clean and with that big footer, very concise. So I think we wanted to change this text here. So offer services. I will just leave that empty for now. And last but not least, we also get this rid of. And let's see it once more here. So we have this follow us here in that case. Don't really like that. I think we have here a little bit more, but they have also this follow us part. So maybe we would really bring that into it. So we would have a follow us part here. And then we would have the different social media channels that we currently provide. So let's go into this guy. and call that, for example, YouTube. And here what I want to do is bringing that icon in front of it. Let's keep that for now up there, but bring it also down here. Just to see how much spacing we will need. Is it in front, the icon? Here we don't have that, but here is it in front, yeah. So I would bring that into the front. I think that looks more cleaner. How much spacing? That would be 8, 16, right? So 16 spacing, fantastic. Not too bad. So these two would be a group called YouTube Footer Link. So, and the good thing is now I can hopefully just copy that over and bring it down. And for that I can remove this guy and change that to, whoops, this is YouTube, but this guy would be then Twitter, for example. We would change the text here. Did you remember that I said you that if you press Command you can directly select through all the groups, and I don't do it? So I hope I can just replace that. No, unfortunately not. So let's see if I can get this guy up. Bring that directly on top of each other, and we have to move this Twitter icon now where it belongs. And that would be here. So FL YouTube can be done, and these two are good. I think with the animation that we built, it should look pretty well, I think. So that could be something. So we have this Twitter. Really? Yeah, sure. I'm very happy to talk about this email thing. If you really think it's important to you, I can really do that. It's just that I was till now really afraid to do so without talking with the community. And actually this was a topic that I wanted to start as soon as the membership program starts here on YouTube that I have planned. But also there I still need some ideas that I can work, and because Matab is working now full-time, I have to also do most of the stuff alone. So I also have there my head around. So it's a lot of stuff that I want to improve in the future. So be aware, there's things to come. So Flutter Explain 2.0, you can say. So GitHub, where's our icon? I lost my icon. Up here. Where? It's not too easy to only work with the scroll pad. So let's use the mouse a little bit more often. Yep. And remove that Twitter icon. Good. You have a community already, fantastic. And can you give me some experience? What is your? I have never had any community, and it's the first time that I think we have at the moment 4,000 people that are watching sometimes my channel, right? Let's have a look. I think it's 4,000, and I'm absolutely shocked that so many people are following me. And actually, I'd never thought that this channel would come so far. Now that it is so far, I don't know how to react on all that stuff, so how I can improve there. I even thought about to search a consultant for YouTube and social media, just to get my head around it, that people could, who has maybe more experience than me, can evaluate my channel, talk about some options that we can use and so on. Because even though that a lot of people say I do a good job, I don't feel like it. Still so much stuff to do and so much stuff that I don't do. So I think I can improve in every direction all the time. So AKS, are you happy with our footer so far? What should we do with the logo? Is that on top here okay, or should it be more on the left? I think aligned would be better, right? How do we have it in InVision? There is just that little icon on the side. The contact us. Contact us. Do we have a contact us? We don't have one. Do we need one? I would just add that to, I don't know. InVision. Okay, let's see InVision. Where's the contact us? Get support. Go away. Here on the side. They have the... So it would be the first part, I think, company and team. So the company and team part would have the contact us. Oops. Zack. Contact us. And maybe instead of company and team, I could just name that Flutter Explained. Then it would be more self-sufficient, or I don't know, related to our company. And then the contact us would be on the bottom of that. Do I have an email somewhere? Yeah. I think the impression or the... Does that not have to have a contact email or something? The impression privacy policy part? Yeah, but they have a special email for that, so they usually use the one from that. So what do we have here? All rights reserved. Yeah, I wanted to have that here inside. So all rights reserved fantastically, because it is completely open source and we are working completely inside of this stream. But can I not align now the text inside that? Here. Like that. Get a little off. Like so. It will be a joy. That looks really cool. Can I select now this lower part of a component and just recreate and just use that Flutter package for that? So if we have that plugin somewhere, this guy, Figma to code, let's see. And I create now beautiful Flutter code. Okay. Copy to clipboard, Flutter to code pen, let's see. I think I added support, right? We have this help and support. So FHQ, help center, and maybe in the future support for that. But my services will be more like trainings and tutorials for people. I'm not sure how this will behave. So, and inside of here we have now this Figma stuff. What is that actually? It's a blob. Non-constant identifier used, lower camel case. Okay, so is that now a child? Is that something? So I will try to replace this text here that we return. So from here to here, replace it with that. So, and if I run now, I think it should run automatically. It's the wrong browser. It's Flutter Web for that. It's wow. At least it created me something. So we don't have to write everything for us. So let's see. if I save this now, Bernardo Ferrari, what? I think I overwrite something from someone. How did I? Okay, I did something, so let's change that. So let's go and copy that once more, just because I want to try. So this footer I want to have in my plugins, Figma to code, Flutter, copy to clipboard, go back to my own workspace, dashboard, loose, create a Flutter pen, here we go. This is the text, and what I will do is I will just put that here inside. Good. We press save, give it a good name like footer Flutter explained. Save it again. And now let's open it up in Chrome. Maybe the performance will be... I made a mistake. Nope. So bring that up in Chrome. And usually the Flutter web is a bit faster here in Chrome. Okay, so we have some problems with the spacing because it's of course not responsive yet, but we have the responsive widgets for that. So we could use that actually. I don't know how good it is because it copies a lot of the different values, so we most likely have to clean that up a little bit. So I think if we have here a fixed size, that would be not a good option. I don't like that, but yeah, at least we have a foundation that we can work on and we can copy maybe some ideas of that. And what I like is that it's also include the font weight for everything, so we don't have to think about that too much. But I see here, for example, if we have that color, it could be a const, right? So this stuff is not concluded, so there are still some problems and flaws with it, I would say. And the cool thing is now I can share this with you. Yeah, I think to just copy it over, it would be a mistake. You really should take another look into it, because as I see here, for example, we have a lot of these sized boxes that actually do the same thing. So it looks like this could be a widget and so on. Yep, I think for foundation it's fantastic. Can I remove the center widget here? I forgot this doesn't have code highlighting and so on, and no IntelliSense. Yeah, okay, let's keep it like it is. It's a bit weird, but someone will see it. There will come some questions. Go, leave, go back to this guy, save it. Or can I? No, doesn't work. Yeah, exactly. We used Adobe XD to Flutter. I think it's also a tool that Adobe XD to Flutter. It's exactly the same thing and it has exactly the same problems, I assume. So I think we made a video for that, but we are completely outside already. I think our keywords are not good enough. So maybe if we search for Flutter explained, we have a bit more luck. No, not even with that. That's crazy. Okay, anyhow, let's go back to our design. Where are we? Here. So, Supernova, yeah, I used Supernova once. It's pretty cool. It's good that it works immediately. Okay, next step, if we have all that, the question is, do we want to stick with the design now or should we implement the footer widget? Supernova. I think Supernova is even a bit better because Supernova is really creating widget code for us. So Flutter, it tries to really be production ready at the end. So if we add all that stuff here inside, we can design like we want to, and it should create us directly a code out of it, so you can really copy it. And another thing that I'm sometimes using is the one from Rody Davis, the Widget Studio, I think. Widget Studio, here we go. So at the moment it looks still a little bit grumpy, but I think it's getting better and better, all the updates that it gets, and it will be better in the future, I think. Yeah, also navigation routes, and I think even animations, right? So it's pretty impressive what they created here. So maybe I make a video for Supernova once in the future, then we can take a look how much I can work with that. Maybe I can talk with them that they maybe also support it. That would be fantastic. At the moment I'm used, this one was Figma to Flutter, or? No, it was another name. You can also check the other plugins if we are on it. So let's see. Flutter export we have, and Figma to Flutter, that is this guy. They have all different get Flutter code for Figma selections. So you think this will be better? You know, we make the ultimate test. We have the code pen. We install both packages. We select our footer the same way. I execute Figma to Flutter. How should we render this group? Yeah, do it. Okay, a lot of text. Heads up stuff. What is happening here? A stack now. Okay, let's copy that. 2 assets detected. We don't need them. Stateless widget, stateful widget, pub spec, widget code, stateless widget. Oh, cool! They also copy the whole widget that we need. Okay, so I will make that stateless. Yep. I think Google supports everything that pushes Flutter. So what was it? Code pen. Code pen. Let's create another Flutter pen. And copy or remove that stuff, bring that over. I know this is a stateless widget, so what we can do is we can remove the whole part below. So, and copy just that inside. We don't need to import here. We call that Figma to Flutter test. Footer Flutter explained and save. Error processing pen. They don't like my text somewhere. String starts and needs to end with something. Okay. Okay, let's save that once more. So it complains about line 34. So this guy. To be honest, I don't see a mistake here. String starts with a must end with a. Yeah. Maybe because it has 2 lines? No. Let's replace these 2 with a double quote. My widget needs to be defined. Ah, yeah, okay. That would be the footer widget. And we save that once more. And let's see if we can bring that over to here. $300. Okay, this tries now to find an SVG file. So what I will do is I just remove that positioned widget here. Whoops. Wait a second till the error is changing. So where's Figma to Flutter? Where's it another thing? Okay, I think this one is a little bit broken. Okay, we tried it. But maybe you mean something else, so I don't know. Okay. Let's stick with that, what we want to do. So we have all this stuff. I think a contact us would be then a form or something. I don't know if it needs to be on the main page. Let's close that. So the question is, should we have all together in one big homepage? So that the contact form would be somewhere down here, and then we have everything in one page, which makes it a little bit hard to navigate, right? And if someone is searching for our site, we only have one large site at the end. So what would you recommend to that? So contact us, for example. Put it up and down. So my idea was that we have there a call to action button that then just brings us down to the part where the contact us is, right? So if I can imagine a contact us form is something like a line with the name, I don't know, something like that, multiple things, and a complete text box that has some stuff in it. So we can make that round, like 10. So something like that. Usually it has, oh, something happened. So usually we have, hey Gulraj, nice to see you around. So what has, we have, yeah, on flutterexplained.live, I think we have actually a nice little form to send us stuff. So yeah, here, contact me. So we need an email, a name, and a message. That would be everything. Yeah, so that would be email. Then we have some kind of name and the purpose or description. This is how I'm working, you know. I'm just, whenever something don't work, I just go further to the next topic. 32. Fantastic. So this one goes also to the left of this guy. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2. Great. And the description is nearly the same. So also here to the left, and bring that 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, something like that. Okay, and then we would have not a text of. Now you start also with that mailing stuff. Wouldn't add it to the homepage. It made dirty. Whoa, what happened now? That was super loud. Oh wow. Ah yeah. Armin, thank you for redeeming that. I'm sorry, I think I have to pass you down the amount of points again, because I think that article is already free to get somewhere. But I will share that with you, then you will find it. I'm very bad with these loyalty points at the moment. I really have to update that. I think I do too much stuff. Maybe I have to focus on videos or YouTube or live streams or something, or maybe I have to reduce the videos per week or something like that in the future. It's just too much at the moment. So this is our email input, and then we have the description and the name. So this would be the name input, and yes, no worries AKS, we can remove that in a second. I just want to create it once, that we have that somewhere, so that we have the idea of how our contact form would look like. So then we would, yeah, we keep that for now, and we would have that on a second screen. I love this. Make sure that you are there this afternoon. There I will make some sponsorship video where we will give some money to Flutter package creators, and because I've got a free key for the full Flutter course from Angela Yu, I will most likely give that away for free as a giveaway. That will be the first time that I will do something like that, so I hope that nothing goes wrong with that. So this part will not be our homepage, actually, this would be our contact form. So, or contact page. Something like that. And then we can also start with our first prototyping, I think, because we can create now connections. But what happens here would remove all that stuff. Also this part. Go away, so. And in the first place, I would just have these three as a group, which will be our contact form. This is now a basic mock-up, so it could be looking completely different from later, right? So don't worry about that too much. And I need my rulers, just to make sure that we have it inside of the space of the 1200s, right? So, -20, something like that. Alright. Yeah, that's perfect, AKS. Makes a lot of sense. I have no idea about that stuff, you see. Then I usually use create only company applications that usually don't really work for the outside world. So I do it myself always a little bit too easy, I think. So contact page and bring that up, something like that. Okay. So what package do you are working on? 64. Contact us, like 64. Okay, I see you have a lot of plans for my channel. Fantastic. That's gotta be very interesting to do all that stuff. Maybe I should hire you as a social media manager. So you say that we maybe need more forms, right? So like SMS verification, I don't know. But yeah, it's just a mock-up that we have that in mind, that we have there something in the future for our contacts. It's perfect, even perfect, and that's from you. Then TransferWise needs to do a lot of stuff really good if you be so happy with it. So where do you have a contact form? News blog affiliate, contact us, login, EN, business, money transfer, business. See how it works, help, money transfer, track, compare, get started, search for contact. They don't have a contact page. Go to help. Help. Okay, I have to log in then. I don't know. No, I don't want that. Okay. Maybe later, maybe in the future. Do they have a contact page here? Contact us? Okay, so they have still again another header. And then they have this guy, powered by Ada. AI chatbot, okay. Wow, I'm so far away with all that stuff. Okay, so co-ownership principles, cool. Twilio, I know. I did that with an SMS marketing company together to work there a little bit. That was pretty interesting. So what happens for remote contact centers with Twilio Flex? Can you do more with that? I think you can automatic send stuff, right? Like automatic SMS, automatic emails, and so on and so forth. Programmable voice. SendGrid email API. I think that's the one. Yeah, but I think this is a future problem for the future Macs. And you know how I am. Yeah, okay. So as I said, I don't want to do the contact us page now, at least not yet. So how much time do we have? Oh, it's already 12:33. Okay, you know what, guys? I will close that stream for today. What we did is there's fantastic footer. We had a lot of design. We will work this afternoon on what do we have this afternoon? Yeah, we have that part. The headless CMS would be fantastic because I don't know how long I want to do that, and still we have not made any progress in that area. So maybe the next step would be that we find somehow our blog or our services, one of them, that we can work with that. Maybe have an idea how it would look like here on the page. If we have our next section here, our offerings, how that would look like. So I don't know how to improve all that stuff, but we will do that. Chamaval, nice to see you. Cool. So thank you very much for joining me today. It was a fantastic ride. We will see us this afternoon. Don't forget, we have a giveaway and we will have some money that we will spend, and we will talk a little bit about money that I made on YouTube, because I'm getting rich slowly thanks to you and your advertising watchment. Or not, maybe. Finish the design and then everything else. You have to finish what you start. All right, so you wanted this getting slowly a Flutter design channel. I'm happy with that. Let's see how the chat reacts. So everyone who likes designs gives a thumb up, please. And everyone who wants to have coding gives us, do we have an icon, an emoji for that? I don't know, anything that has to do with programming, maybe a laptop or something. So laptop for Flutter development, and the next live stream and design if you have something for a design icon. Or thumb up. Go, go, go. Give me some icons. So yeah, coding some, now is a skeleton design will be finished, okay. The giveaway will be the ultimate course from Angular U, if you know that. Angular U Bootcamp 2020. I don't know, the name is so long, I always forget that. This guy. So at least this is my idea to, no, not web development, guys. Jeez, 2020 Angular U Flutter. This guy. Here we go. I have one spare key of that one, and so I will most likely give that away this afternoon. At least this was my plan. The only thing that you will require to have is these weird points that I have here on flutterexplained.live. So if you are watching about this page, I think then you get these loyalty points down here, and I most likely will give some for free, but as more that you have, the easier you get them, or something like that. So yeah, it would be great if you are joining there. Should send the improvements in Figma to GitHub. if you have more improvements, it will not increase your possibilities to play with. I think that would be a task for that we do that together in the future. Interesting, I'm watching myself a lot. So yeah, that's the idea, that I give that away and then we can work on that. Yeah, so that's the plan. Let's see how you like it. I like it already a lot. And if you have some ideas how we can improve this channel, how we can improve myself, how we can work further in the future, please let me know in the comments below. Thank you very much for joining today. It was really a fun session. And I will think about if we are making the next time a design challenge, that we finish the design here, or if we start with something else. After the 22nd, when I deliver this work, I think we also have still to improve this illustration, right? At the moment we have this nice little animation and we have to improve that also. Maybe I also have to learn how to make animations, would be also cool. But you see, there is always work, right? So we don't get unemployed, so that's fantastic. Check the package, Flutter, Simon. Okay, let's check that out. Where is our browser? Here we go. Okay, I have to reopen a browser. No, that's not it. Let's search in PubDev. This guy. Inspired by Font Awesome Icons package. This package contains more than 2000 icons. The amazing. Okay, so it's icons. Oh, they have already colors. Can you override the colors? See icon size? I don't know. Because I think that's the reason why a lot of people using usually default colors or black as a default color, that everyone can change it to the color that they want. But I like the idea to have something like that, that it defaults to the color of the logo and then swaps over to something that we want to override. But cool, I will take a look and maybe we can use that in the future for some stuff. So let's see if I find that icon moon, icon data moon, and it has a color inside. Don't edit this file, auto-generate it. All right, don't do that. So this, yeah, so we can override the color. Fantastic. Then everything is settled. Fantastic package. I'm happy with that already. Okay, everyone. So now I will close the stream. Really. See ya.